With today being the very first day of 2024, I want to begin to do something that I feel as though I've been called to do. And so today is going to be the very first installment of Manosphere Bible Study. Now, to be quite honest, I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily Manosphere. Although I have been around, I've been on several people's channels and interviewed here and there and stuff like that, and people know me. I wouldn't say that I'm like a solidified Manosphere figure, nor necessarily do I want to be known as Manosphere. I much rather prefer to be somebody who the Manosphere knows of. I'm Manosphere adjacent. I'm cool with that. With that being said, what I feel as though I'm compelled to share with you is that in 2024, you can accomplish your goals and your dreams through discipline. That's what I want to share with you today. Your dreams are determined by discipline. If I had to give it a title, if I had to title the video that's going to be the title. Dreams are determined by discipline. Now, I'm not a preacher, so I'm not going to give you some super long sermon or anything like that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to give you a text as a reference point to this conversation. Now, I understand if you don't feel as though you're a huge Christian and all that, you don't have to turn the video off. Just listen to what I'm hearing. Just listen to what I'm saying, and I promise you, if you listen all the way through, it's going to minister to you. It's going to speak to you in some sort of way. So let me just go ahead and get into the scriptural reference for this video. It's 1 Samuel chapter 15, where Saul was rejected by God as king. So it says, Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people Israel. So listen now to the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt. Now go, attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put them to death, men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. So right there, he's saying, Saul, I'm appointing you as king over the people. And now that you're king, there's some people that took advantage of our people. There's some people that did some things to our people. And now it is the time for where they're going to pay for what they did to your people. And so you're going to take out everybody. Man, woman, child, infant, dog, cat, everything. So Saul summoned the men and mustered them to Telaim. 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 from Judah. Saul went to the city of Amalek and set an ambush in the ravine. Then he said to the Canaanites, go away, leave the Amalekites so that I do not destroy you along with them. For you showed kindness to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. So the Canaanites moved away from the Amalekites. Then Saul attacked the Amalekites all the way from Havilah to Shur, near the eastern borders of Egypt. He took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all his people he totally destroyed with the sword. Now here's where the issue comes in. Remember the title. Your dream is determined by your discipline. We already saw early in the text, he was ordered to completely destroy everything. Man, woman, child, infant, goats, sheep, donkeys, everything. And so what does it say? It says, he took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all his people he totally destroyed with the sword. But Saul and the army spared Agag and the best of the sheep and cattle, the fat calves and lambs, everything that was good. These they were unwilling to destroy completely. But everything that was despised and weak, they totally destroyed. So what's going on here? He was placed in a position to thrive, to live out all of his dreams. And he was given direction to completely destroy everything. But when he got there, there were some things that looked good to him. There were some things that felt good to him. So he decided, you know what? All the stuff that I don't want, I'm going to get rid of it. But the stuff that I do want, even though I'm not supposed to have it, I'm just going to keep that. So then, let's see what happens. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. I regret that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Samuel was angry, and he cried out to the Lord all that night. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul, but he was told, Saul has gone to Carmel. There he has set up a monument in his own honor and has turned and gone on down to Gilgal. So not only was he not disciplined in doing what he was supposed to do, but now he's lost in his own pride and ego, and he's praising and worshiping himself. Don't trust me. We're not going to get too scriptural today. It's just a backdrop. Stay with me. When Samuel reached him, Saul said, the Lord bless you. I have carried out the Lord's instructions. So here he is telling Samuel that he did what he was supposed to do, which he had not done. So we see several issues right here. Already we see disobedience, we see ego, and now we see deceit or lying. Because he was told to do one thing. He did something totally different. Then on top of that, he decides he's going to build monuments to worship himself. And then the moment somebody comes along, he says, oh yeah, I did what I was supposed to do. But Samuel said, what then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is this lowing of cattle that I hear? See, this is so good right here. See, when you don't do what you're supposed to do, when you're not disciplined, ultimately your lifestyle will tell on you. And so here he is saying, I did what I was supposed to do, but he kept the fineness of the cattle. He kept the fineness of the sheep. Well, animals make noise. So while you're trying to lie and pretend as if you're doing what you're supposed to do, your life is telling on you. And that's what's happening here. He's saying, oh, I did what I was supposed to do. He's saying, well, why do I hear these sheep? Why do I hear these cattle? If you totally destroyed it like you were supposed to, I wouldn't hear them because it wouldn't be here. So let's see what he says. He says, the soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle to sacrifice to the Lord, your God. But we have totally destroyed the rest. So here's another lie. First, he said he did what he was supposed to do. Now he's saying, we didn't do what we were supposed to do, but it wasn't me, it was them. That's the second lie. Here's a third lie. We kept it so that we could sacrifice it. That's a lie. You didn't keep it to sacrifice it. You keep it because it looked good to you. And now you're trying to save face. He says, enough. Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night. Although you were once small in your own eyes, you did not become the head of the tribes of Israel. Did you not become the head of the tribes of Israel? The Lord anointed you king over Israel. And he sent you on a mission saying, go and completely destroy those wicked people, the Amalekites. Wage war against them until you have wiped them out. Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on the plunder and do evil in the eyes of the Lord? And here it is. He's still lying. But I did obey the Lord, Saul said. I went on the mission the Lord assigned me. I completely destroyed the Amalekites and brought back Agar, their king. The soldiers took the sheep and the cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God, in order to sacrifice. But that's not what he was told to do, number one, and he's lying. But Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as obeying in the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice. That's a line right there. Obedience is better than sacrifice. For rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. So, why did I bring that up? Because like I just told you, today the message is your dream is determined by your discipline. He had dreams of being king, of being in the Lord's favor. But what mistake did he make? He was not disciplined. When he saw something that looked good to him, he deviated from the plan. Listen, in 2024, you have to stay disciplined. If you want to accomplish your dreams, you have to stay disciplined. And just for transparency, let me talk to you guys about some dreams that I've had. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, I've had them for about 4 or 5 years now. It's 2024. I've had these dreams at least since 2020. Since 2020, I've had the dream of purchasing a home so my children can have a backyard to play in. I've had the dream of getting down to 224 pounds. I've had the dream of dressing a certain way and looking a certain way and having a certain amount of money in the bank and having a certain amount of financial freedom and doing certain things. And I have not yet accomplished those goals. And why is that? Lack of discipline. See, I say I want to be 224 pounds. But see, when I see something that looks good to me, like, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm in Maryland. So for me, it's Honey Old Bay wings. When I see some Honey Old Bay wings, I say I want to be 224 pounds. But when I see some Honey Old Bay wings, now it's a different story. When I see some barbecue ribs, now it's a different story. When I see some chocolate chip walnut cookies, now it's a different story. When I see a good cognac, let's keep it real, it's a different story. And see, that's the issue. I have a dream of having a certain healthy lifestyle, but I don't have the discipline, and which is why I haven't reached that goal yet. Let's talk about the financial piece. I say I want to be in a financial bracket and purchase certain things for my home, for my legacy and my family. But when I get paid, what do? Now I want to get these new Nikes. Now I want to go out to the bar. I want to go out to the restaurant. I want to get appetizers and a couple of cocktails and a meal and something to take home. I want to go over here. I want to go over there. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to enjoy myself in the moment. I say I'm going to save money, but I see a pair of shoes and they look good to me. I see a night out on the town and it looks good to me. That's why we're talking about this, because in 2024, if you want to live out your dreams, you have to be disciplined. Let's go a cut deeper. Because some of you want to change certain things in your life. And you want to cut out certain things in your life. But you don't want to cut everything out. There's certain things that it look good to you. We just heard in the text, he was supposed to destroy everything, but some things look good to him. So he said, you know what? I'm going to keep this. I'm going to cut this out, but I'm going to keep that. Yeah. I'm going to be smarter with my money, but I'm still going to sleep around. Oh, see, now let's talk about it. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to get my certifications. But as far as my social, my romantic life, I see some women, or if you're a lady, I see some men, and they look good to me, and I like to have fun. So I'm not going to cut out my casual dating lifestyle. I'm going to keep that. I say I want to be married. I say I want to get out of the gender war. I say I want a good man. I say I want a good woman. But I'm going to keep the casual sex. Yeah. See what I'm talking about? I might cut out the clubs. I might cut out the gender war content on social media. I might cut off old flings and exes. I'm gonna do certain things. I'm gonna wipe out certain things from my social life because I say I want to have healthy relationships. I say I want a husband. I say I want a wife. I'm gonna cut out certain things, but the things that look good to me, the casual dating, the casual sex, the hookups, the sneaky links. I'm not going to cut everything out. In 2024, this is the year you got to cut everything out. Everything that you know you're not supposed to be doing, you got to cut it out. You can't, like there's a saying, you can't be halfway pregnant. Either you are or you aren't. Well, you can't be halfway serious. Either you're serious or you're not. I want to have healthy relationships, but I still want to argue on social media. I still want to follow the shade room. I still want to follow spiritual word. I still want to listen to red pill content. I still want to listen to She-Ra 7. I still want to listen to Princella the Queen Maker. I still want to have random hookups. I'm going to unblock the person I blocked because I feel lonely one night. Come on now. And just like in the text, whatever you don't truly wipe out will tell on you. Because here he is. Oh, yeah, I did what I was supposed to do. Oh, but I can hear the sheep. I can hear the cattle. Because when you're out of order, when you're doing things you're not supposed to do, it will tell on you. So I know you want to sit around here. Some of us, you're going to sit around and you're going to talk about how you're a good man and you're a good woman and you're traditional and you need a man like this and you need a woman like that and you're a good catch and you're the prize, all this other kind of stuff. But whatever you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing, it's going to tell on you. Your negative mood, your negative attitude. It's going to show because you're dealing with somebody you're not supposed to be dealing with. Your level of distraction, your level of stress, your bad habits that you keep continuing with. It's going to show because you're dealing with people and you're consuming content that you're not supposed to be consuming. That's why I told him, I hear the bleating of sheep. That thing that you said you destroyed, I still hear it crying out. That's how I know you haven't truly destroyed it, because I can still hear it. I can still see it in your face. Some of you are going to accomplish your dreams in 2024 if you are disciplined. And some of you, sadly, have been and will continue to be right on the verge of accomplishing your dreams, but you won't be able to accomplish them because you refuse to be disciplined. There's some things that you want to keep because it looks good to you, and you won't be able to truly go where you're supposed to go until you cut out what you're supposed to cut out. And here's the last point. Because not only was he disobedient, not only did he lack discipline, but he was arrogant all at the same time. And that's the issue with some of us. Not only are we not doing what we're supposed to be doing, not only have we not changed what we are supposed to change, but then we got the nerve to be arrogant. Then we got the nerve to have an ego. Think about how many times you hear guys talk about what's wrong with the woman, what's wrong with this, and what's wrong with that, and black men are not the problem, and black men got their stuff together. Then you go on the other side with the women, black women got their stuff together, and they can't find a man on their level, and all this other kind. Everybody on both sides has an ego. I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm on this level, and I'm so great, and I'm so awesome. All the while, they have not done what they are supposed to do, but they got the nerve to be arrogant on top of that. You saw it in the text. Not only was he out of order, but while being out of order, he builds a monument to himself. That sounds a lot like you got guys online who are not handling what they're supposed to handle, but at the same time of wasting time online, not handling what they're supposed to handle, they got the nerve to talk about what's wrong with women while elevating themselves as quote unquote high value men. Think about that. Supposed to be saving money. Supposed to be leveling up in their career. Supposed to be cutting out the casual sex. Supposed to be looking for women in different places. Supposed to be working on their emotional intelligence. Supposed to be doing all these different things, but instead they're online going back and forth with women while at the same time pumping up their ego. I'm a high value man. And it's the same thing on the other side. Supposed to be practicing celibacy, becoming a virtuous woman, cutting off the sneaky links, healing from past situations, healing from past traumas, tapping into their relationship with God. But instead, they're on the internet. Oh, black men are not good people. I can't find a man on my level. I ain't dating no bus driver. I ain't going to this restaurant. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. Bullet bags, dusties, conga, all this stuff. Got the nerve to be arrogant when you're out of order. So let me just wrap this up by saying this once again. Your dreams are determined by your discipline. There are things that you know you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing, and things that you are doing that you know you're not supposed to be doing. It's time to correct that if you want to win in 2024.